Hi, today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the Hi10 tablet from Chuwi. This tablet was recently released, I think about a couple of months ago maybe, and it came out around the same time that the Chuwi Hi12 came out. I was interested in the Chuwi Hi12 based on it having the Surface Pro 3 screen, and the slightly better camera, but when I looked at the specs of the Chuwi Hi10 and saw them to be identical, with the exception that this still has the standard 2 megapixel camera, I thought I'd go and take the plunge and buy this one. It still comes with the IPS screen, still comes with the 64 gig memory and the 4 gig RAM, and from the reviews that I've already seen, it comes with exactly the same innards bar the battery and the camera that the Chuwi Hi12 has, and obviously it has a Surface Pro screen. As some of you may be aware, one of my biggest things I recently brought was my Chuwi Hi8 a few months back, and I've been using that almost every day with my 3D printer and just general usage around the house. And I got a report, it's still running fab. I didn't expect much out of this tablet, seeing as it was only in a 70 odd quid tablet, but it's been doing very well. So I thought I would go ahead and buy its bigger brother. So I placed my order 18 days ago on Banggood.com, and this is what they sent me. So as usual, it comes in the polystyrene box. Banggood tend to take it out of its original box and place it in the sort of styrofoam, well packaged with this orangey brown tape, because the boxes they do come in are just very thin cardboard, and so they obviously want to make sure if it's coming all the way from China it's not going to be broken, because it probably costs them a fortune. And as you can see, it came by Netherlands post, and it's done very well. So I received it on a Saturday, didn't manage to get it picked up until the Monday, so I haven't touched it yet. This is literally as it came from the post office, and we're going to go ahead and open it and see actually what you get inside. So sorry about if it's getting in the way of the camera, but I wasn't expecting a package this big. For being a tablet the size it is, I wasn't expecting such a large box. Okay, and here we go. So I did actually put a request into Banggood for them to send the original box, but they haven't done that, but I don't really mind. The only reason why I wanted the original box was just to see what it actually came with. But as you can see, this is it. So these are actually just from the box, and they've just put them in, because I've seen a review from Tech Tablets, which actually does a really good breakdown of speeds and features and graphical performance and CPU performance. And he's done an unboxing of this for him. Now they do send you these lovely travel adapters, but I'm saying this to you now, throw these away. Do not use them for any circumstances. I might see if I can find the video that I watched regarding one of these. I'll post it in the description below of just how dangerous they are. There's a great guy on YouTube that I follow that I will leave a link in the description to his channel, and he basically does a lot of unboxing, of stripping down of components, and I'll see if I can find his video on stripping down one of these travel adapters, because it's well worth a watch. So move that out of the way, don't use that, that's going in the bin. And then we have what probably is just the cable. Yep, same as the Hi8, comes with charging lead. They're quite useful, the amount of things I have in the house that I use them for. Especially now everyone's starting to standardise a little bit more. Then I presume this is the charger. Yep. Which I would also say, throw away. Even if this is for the country that you're in, chuck it, don't use it. I would really not suggest buying from a Chinese manufacturer one of these. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind having the tablet coming from a Chinese manufacturer, but when it comes to charging cables, I always recommend using properly certificated, if that's a word, cables. Right, then imagine this is some sort of warranty information. Yep, quality control, and lots of Chinese. No idea what that says. And next we have a tablet. So by the looks of things, they've taken it out of the box and they've just then wrapped it in a little bit more protective coating. So let's move that out of the way. Put that down there. And then here we have a tablet. So this has two screen protectors on, as I've seen in another video. So it has just this front cover which tells you what it is, that it's Chuwi Hi10, it's green, 10.1 inch, it has the Cherry Trail processor in. It has the lowest version of the Cherry Trail in, by the way, so if you do Google that you will see that this is the lowest one, but for a tablet of this size it is ample power, and a lot more power than the Hi8, unless you get the Hi8 Pro, because that has the same processor. So let's take this off, and yep, there is another screen protector underneath. And before I boot it on, let's have a look around it. So the screen is very nice and clean. It's not a laminated display, so you will see that there is a gap in between. There's a lot of other videos that explain what a laminated display is, so I'm not going to go too much into it now. It just means there's a gap between the screen and the front, so it doesn't give as crisp a picture because you are going through another piece of plastic. But as long as you keep a screen protector on there, you should have no worries. Then we have on the side the charging port. We then have a USB 2. I imagine that's the HDMI out. And then we have a USB 3 and a micro USB card slot, which takes up to 128 gig cards, which is pretty decent. Then on the bottom we have the charging connector, and we also have the docking system for docking into the keyboard, which I probably will buy just to test it out, really, and it's quite cheap. It's really cheap. Then we have the two, oh god, get in the camera, there we go. We have the two speaker ports. I don't know whether you can see them back there. I have seen other videos and apparently the speakers aren't the best in the world, but it depends what you're trying to blast out of a tiny little tablet. And then on the back we have the 2 megapixel camera, as well as the black sort of etched finish, which comes the same on the Chuwi Hi8 and other Chuwis that I've seen. It's quite nice, it's neat. If it gets scratched and scuffed, you're not going to see it as bad. But overall it's quite nice. It's got a nice bit of weight to it. It's got weight over the Hi8. I imagine that's probably the bigger battery, but people complain about there not being enough weight to tablet. Sorry, there being too much weight to tablet, so I actually like a little bit of weight. I like to know what I'm holding. But yeah, all in all looks good. So let's power it on. And obviously on top there's a power button and 2 speaker buttons, but I'm sure you don't really want to see them. Okay. Surprisingly though, that's not Retina. I don't know whether you can see there, you probably won't be able to actually. There we go, someone's already set it up for me under F. Let me tilt it that way. There we go. In fact, let's lift this up a little bit. Let's grab the original box. I could move the camera, but I might be here for a while. Right, and there we have it. The Chuwi Hi10. So let's double check, let's make sure that it's all activated. So, File Explorer. It's very responsive. There we go. Chuwi Hi10, the Atom Z8300, 1.44 gigahertz. Windows is activated, so I don't have to worry about any of that. Let's double check as well. Nice. So I've got 44 gig free. So that's a lot more than on my Chuwi Hi8. Now what I want to do is check out the internet. So let me just connect here. I'm sure you don't need to see my password. So we're connecting. Now one thing that I do find with the Hi8 is sometimes it does have trouble connecting to the internet and I have to manually make it do it, which is sometimes awkward. No, let's not mess about with that. So let's get that up there. Oh, I could spell it right. So load up speed tests. The reason for this is actually I find that my Hi8 is actually quite limited, so I have an 80 meg connection and I find that the Hi8 actually struggles to pull that full 80 meg connection. I probably presume that's due to how fast the hard drive can write. If you want to know about hard drives, then about SSDs and how they work, then I suggest on looking on the Tech Tablets review of this. He explains about the different types of memory that they put into these tablets, whereas I'm looking more on the real world tests. But if you like to get technical and see the brands and things, then I definitely recommend having a look at his video. So yeah, I'm right next to the router. I might actually be too close, but I'm only pulling 36 meg down. That might improve though once I run some updates. Next thing I want to see is how quickly it transfers over. So I'm going to plug in something into the USB 3. So very quick video. This is my Chuwi Hi keyboard case. This is a 600 meg file. So just short of 700, I think it was. Oh no, just 600, just short of 600. So about the same as a 720p movie, transferring over from memory stick. So the transfer speeds are double than what I get on the Hi8. The Hi8 I tend to get around 35, so that's quite nice. This is only a little 100 meg video. Let's have a look at this one. I'm sure playback is absolutely fine. Yeah, neat, crisp playback. It looks really nice for me. It wouldn't look that nice for you going through the GoPro. But very smart. Yeah, very happy with that. Nice. So it transfers over quite quick. Very happy with that. Let's have a quick look in System Properties again and Device Manager. Yep, so it's got a Bosch accelerometer, processors Intel Atom, yep, running quite nicely. Disk drives it's got the standard memory in there. And what was I going to look at? The one thing I did want to see is human interface. Yeah, it doesn't really tell you much about the touchscreen. But the touchscreen seems quite nice. I think it's a 10-point like the last one. Quite neat, quite useful. It's much quicker than my Hi8. Let's just have a quick look at the camera. Obviously it won't be useful to you on video, yes, might as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, that ain't great. Let's get some text under there. Let's use that one. It's not the worst, but it is quite grainy. You might be able to see if I bring this up. So it's not the best in the world, but still completely usable. If you plan on using this for FaceTime, or sorry, for Skype or whatever you're going to use it for, then it might not be the best in the world, but it'll do you. As far as what I'm gathering so far from just playing with it just for a few seconds, it seems like a really nice tablet actually. I think I might replace that, replace my Chuwi Hi8 with the Hi10. Just because it's a little bit more useful. The one thing I do find about the Hi8 is it is a little bit fiddly. I have got used to it, but you tend to find it's quite difficult when you're trying to type on things, and I do notice that sometimes it does overheat and turn off. Not very often, it tends to be when I'm running quite a lot of things on it, and it is only a small budget processor, and not the best hard disk in the world, so it's not surprising really. So in idle, it uses 49% of the memory. It's using 36% CPU, which is not bad. I'm guessing that's because it's quite a new startup. I also do have Internet Explorer running, so that might go lower. But all in all, yeah, impressed. Nice little tablet. I'm going to be doing a more in-depth review about its usability. Maybe once I get the keyboard dock as well, so that I can go through everything a little bit quicker. I'm going to try and do some real-world tests of exactly what it's useful for, what it shouldn't be used for, which I'm just going to point out now, gaming wouldn't bother, and just seeing whether it is useful to you. I would definitely recommend this over the Hi12, only because you're getting exactly the same amount of stuff for 80 quid off, essentially, and you're losing a tiny screen size. So if you need a 12-inch screen, yeah, fair play, go for the Chuwi Hi12, and you need the good camera, then go for the Hi12. But otherwise, save yourself some money, go for the Hi10, get exactly the same innards, a slightly different screen obviously, but still just as good, and enjoy it. So if this video has been useful to you at all, please leave a like. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And if there's anything that you want to see or any questions that you do have, I try and be as active as possible. So please leave a comment below or send me a tweet at the NB guy. Thank you.